今回はメジャー3度目の登板を果たした佐々木朗希投手について米メディアの反応を見ていきます。それでは行ってみましょう。4月6日現地時間5日、ドジャースの佐々木朗希投手がフィリーズ戦にメジャー3度目の登板をしました。初勝利はならなかったものの、5回途中68球を投げ3安打1失点、奪三振4、与四球2、最速は 157.8 キロと好投。佐々木投手は立ち上がりで連打を浴び、ノーアウト2、3塁のピンチを背負い、3番ハーパー選手には4球連続スプリットで空振り三振。次の打者のセカンドゴロの間に1点を先制されるも、後続を断ち切る粘りの投球。この投球にロバーツ監督は、うまく落ち着かせたね。直球とスプリット両方とも以前より安定してストライクを投げていたと思うよ。空振りも多かったし、捉えられても弱い当たりだったと高く評価しました。またこの日本塁打を放ったキケ選手も、朗希はあの強力な打線を相手に今日は本当に良い仕事をしていましたとコメント。試合後の現地実況も佐々木投手を高く評価しました。ここからはその様子を見ていきます。
I'm John Hartung alongside Jerry Hairston Jr., Nomar Garciaparra. The Dodgers do bounce back after suffering their first loss of the season last night, beating the Phillies 3-1 on the offensive side for the Dodgers. Didn't get a lot of offense, but they got enough. Home runs by Kike Hernandez and also Michael Conforto. And on the pitching side, Roki Sasaki continues to look a little bit better each and every time out, it seems like, Jerry. But the story was the bullpen with their 5 scoreless innings.
Yeah, our bullpen has been outstanding. Really the theme so far this season. Just like last season, our bullpen was outstanding. But Roki, really solid outing, especially after that first inning. Got through that first inning, only 1 run surrendered, but he really got through, and then the bullpen once again was great.
Yeah, the bullpen, the scoreless innings was outstanding. The way they come in, they go out there, they're firing, they're getting the job done. But it was really also the bullpen that I think picked up Sasaki as well. You're looking for something positive for Sasaki to have a good outing. He did that. He got ahead of hitters. He did a much better job this outing. Had just only a couple of walks, but he looked like he was in more control. But there was a possibility of it kind of going the other way and kind of maybe feeling like, all right, I didn't get my job done. The bullpen picked him up as well, so that was huge all around.
Yeah, Roki was able to limit the damage in that first inning, allowing just 1 run, and then later Kike Hernandez gave the Dodgers the lead for good with a 2-run shot. Let's hear from Kike right now. He's standing by in Philadelphia with Kirsten Watson.
Kike, in the past you've had success against Aaron Nola. Tonight, to get things going early in this game, what were you seeing from him to get that swing?
I had a tough night last night, so today I came into the ballpark, I was just trying to slow things down and, start early and slow, and the curveball popped out of the hand and put a good swing, and I didn't swing and miss that time.
Yeah, and able to give some run support for Roki Sasaki. It was obviously a big step for him today. Just what did you see from him, and how was this a big confidence booster for him in his big league career?
Yeah, this was huge for Roki. Barnsley did a great job with him today. He was throwing his fastball for a strike. That was the biggest difference. When he's throwing the fastball for a strike, he starts getting the chase on the split. He did a great job mixing in the slider here and there, and it was a huge outing. That's a great lineup, and he did a really good job with him today.
We go back to that 5th inning, just the double play from Teoscar in right field to get the out to you at first base. Just what kind of play is that? And when you see how the game shifts with the momentum, what would you say just how that game had a big piece of being a factor in this one?
Yeah, that was huge. I went from a game-tying sac fly to inning-ending double play without the runner scoring. So that was huge. I think that was the game right there. And then after that, Michael got the big swing on the homer to give us a little extra breathing room. And pitching did a great job today. Ball was going nowhere. We hit some balls well, but had nothing to show for. And we got the 2 big swings, and the pitching did a great job.
All right, you're correct on that one. The bullpen was excellent in this one. Kike, congrats on the win, and thank you as always.
Thank you.
I don't know if he was sitting on breaking ball the first pitch, but when you're ready to hit, and even if you're looking fastball, you're ready to hit. Sometimes you see the breaking ball out of the hand so good because you're ready to hit, and you holler at it, put us on the board, and gave us a lead for good. 2-1. I think that 2 runs right there allowed Sasaki also to kind of relax. Yeah. Okay, I gave it the lead that first inning, but right away in the second inning, they get me back, not only tie the ball game, but we have a lead now. that settled Sasaki and he was able to have a decent start.
Yeah, immediately right after that second inning, third inning, fourth inning, Roki Sasaki looked outstanding. Let's hear from Roki right now because he's talking with Kirsten and the media.
Roki, when you look at this outing, what do you think led to just the success you were having and just attacking the strike zone?
この登板を振り返ってその成功の秘訣っていうかその要因っていうのはありましたか？
そうですね、まずはホーム的に、良くなかったところだったり、コントロールを乱す原因だったところを、探して、自分の中でこう、改善ポイントがあったのでそこをうまく、修正できたかなと思っています。
I felt like I was able to really work on my mechanical adjustments and everything really came together this outing.
When you reflect on your first two and just even how you said everything came together in this one, what was the biggest just difference for you and when do you think you felt it the most, if it was in a bullpen or even in another game?
その2登板振り返って、今回修正できたっていうポイントっていう中ではそのいつそういう修正でき始めたんですかねと。
2日前のブルペンの時に、投げてる途中でこうしたらいいんじゃないかっていうのを感覚的に、見つけて、そこからは結構安定してよかったのでこれかなっていうのは思いました。
My bullpen session 2 days ago, I felt like I had something and continued to work on it and just felt right throughout the whole time.
Strikes and fastball, how much of that is like a mentality thing and how much of that is sort of the mechanical stuff that you've been working on between starts?
的にストライクを投げ込むっていうのはそのメンタル的なのかそれともメカニカル的なのか。
技術的なことだと思いますし、技術があってこうなんていうんですかね、メンタルも落ち着くと思いますし、ストライク取りたくても取れない時は取れないので、それは気持ち的なものよりもこうフォーム的なものが大きいと思うので、特に前回はストライク取ろうと思ってこう取れなかったので、そういったところでは前回とは気持ち以上にフォームが違かったのかなと。
I think it's more mechanical based rather than mindset. I felt like this time around, last time around, I felt like I did want to throw strikes, but I couldn't, and really worked on the mechanical side of the game and felt like I was able to do that today.
What was the mechanical tweak you made that you found in the bullpen?
ブルペンでその修正できたポイントっていうのは何だったんですか？
下半身の使い方というか、下半身の意識の仕方ですね。
Just, being able to use my lower half better.
How much better does it set up your splitter when you are able to throw strikes and work from ahead in the count?
ストライク先行になると、スプリットがすごく有効になると思うんですけども、それはすごく、どのぐらい影響しているんですかねと。
そうですね。影響する前にフォークボールのコントロールも、基本的にベースマンの上に行くようになったので、そこに関しては、なんていうんですかね、そもそもフォークボールの、扱いが良くなったところが今日は良かったのかなと思います。
I also feel like it's more about my split command as well, and that I felt a lot better with my command of my split. So I think that helped a lot today.
You saw how difficult last week kind of was for you emotionally and something like that. How has the last week sort of been? What has this process been like, just sort of getting your confidence here at the big league level?
2登板ちょっと感情的になるところもあったと思いますけども、この1週間この登板に向けてのその気持ちっていうのはどういう感じでしたか？
そうですね。もちろんこうメンタル的に不安になるところもあったんですけど、ただこう自分の中ではこう信じられる技術があったら気持ちは関係ないのかなと思うので、今日に関してはこう前回のブルペンでこうなんで信じられるこうものを見つけて、今日はただそれをこう信じて投げただけなので、それが見つけられたことが良かったですし、技術あってのメンタルかなとは、改めて思いました。
Yeah, I did go through the week feeling a little anxious, but I was searching for something that I could feel confident about, whether that be some kind of skill base. So what I learned this time was that it's really important to, have confidence based on some kind of adjustment, some kind of skill.
And clearly, Roki Sasaki, Jerry, had been working on those mechanics in between starts. He said he felt like something clicked in a bullpen a couple days ago, and that today seemed like everything seemed to come together for him for the most part. Certainly a really good outing for Roki Sasaki to build on going forward. Right now, let's head back to the booth, check in one final time with Joe Davis and Eric Karros.
Dodgers win a really entertaining game here over the Phillies. 3-1 the final score. They get some good pitching, couple big swings, and ninth inning that's over like that.
Oh my goodness, right? You're starting to sweat a little bit, and then 2 pitches later, you're calling a victory. But I think the most important thing for me, Sasaki, and the way he threw today. You know, the first inning a little shaky, but had the big strikeout of Bryce Harper. And then you go to that 3rd inning. That was a 10-pitch inning, 9 strikes. He was able to establish that fastball early in the count, and just for him, I think he walks out of here saying, all right, I think I may have turned a corner.
That is the biggest deal, big picture today.
Dave, with Roki, you had talked ahead of the game that you felt this was going to be a good one for him. Just from that first inning after those 2 hits, how did he settle in this one?
He settled in nicely. I thought there was a lot more consistent strike throwing with both of his pitches. Got a lot of swing and miss, some soft contact, managed that first inning, and recovered nicely.
Did you see that just his demeanor changed, or just kind of even maybe just the control he had kind of came back to him?
I think so. I thought that as the game went on, he continued to gain confidence and just kept his composure, his poise, and just kept executing pitches. I thought Austin did a great job with him today.
How much do you think he needed to have that kind of an outing?
He needed it. He needed it. He probably won't let on how much he needed it, but you know, to get a major league start and given how the first couple went, to have some success and leave the game with a lead, I think that was certainly a big positive for him, and also just, you know, building block for him, you know, for his next outing.
How much did that play into your mind, taking him out at that point?
That was some of it. I thought that, you know, even up to that point, he pitched a really good ball game. He hadn't gone to the 3rd inning, let alone the 4th inning or the 5th inning up to this point. And so just knowing we had some help behind him, I felt that was a good spot for Banda, and I thought Roki did everything he could and needed to do at that point in time, and just kind of leaving the outing wanting for more. I think that's a good thing for him.
I think he only threw like 1 splitter behind in the count today. Is that kind of like the template where he can get ahead with the fastball and then kind of let the splitter eat in those spots?
Not necessarily. I think that still to be able to throw that pitch behind the count, to get back into a count, to induce some soft contact, I don't think is a bad thing. But today they were certainly mindful of the split, and he was beating him a little bit with the fastball, which is a good thing. But to his credit, and to his credit, he was throwing it for a strike. And so I just thought that they just used his mix, his fastball split mix really well tonight.
How he handled just this environment. I mean, what does that say to you about him just as you continue to kind of build a relationship and learn more about him?
I think that he's certainly a good competitor, and just kind of seeing how he responded to some adversity, certainly in an environment like this, against a ball club like this, very talented offense. So he knows that he can do it here on the road. And so I think that's only going to, you know, make him better as he's continuing to, you know, trust his stuff and gain confidence.
So back to Loki, it was already 6-8 pitches, I guess, he left them out. So pitch count is kind of, you talk about?
No, I didn't think. I felt he had more in there. Like I said earlier, he hasn't been into the 5th inning, so the ups are something that's I have to be mindful of too. And so now we know that he can get into the 5th inning and feel good about that. And I think the next one, you know, getting up to 80 pitches, I think is very reasonable.
Are you a fan of this Otani celebration thing that the guys are doing now?
I didn't notice that one. What's that one?
They're mimicking a commercial where he's like...
Oh, is that right? Oh, is that right? Well, Otani's got a lot of sponsorship, so I wasn't aware of that one. All right, thanks, guys.
The numbers aren't necessarily great against Aaron Nola, but today, for you to get those 3 hits, just what was working well for you, and what were you just seeing from him?
Yeah, I haven't seen him real good in the past. He's got one of, if not the best curveball in the game, and he mixes it really well. I've always struggled against him, but today I just stayed within myself a little bit more, tried to stay a little quieter, and allowed me to see some pitches up in the zone and get some swings to it.
Do you think that was just, as you talked about when you were back in Los Angeles, just kind of working through your bat path, do you think just the results today were one of those things of the work you've been putting in and it all finally finished playing out?
Maybe a little bit. You know, like I said, I felt like the last couple of games, my bats have been really good. Results aren't always there, but for me, the process was there the last couple of games. Just the way I felt in the batter's box, the way I was seeing the ball, you know, everything's felt a little bit better. So today, that just kind of kept carrying over, and that's, you know, the hard thing about baseball is trying to get that to translate from one day to the next.
How happy were you guys for Roki today and impressed with just kind of what you saw from him?
Oh, he was awesome. You know, once he got through that first inning, to me, I felt like I could see his demeanor change a little bit, and it was almost like he trusted himself and realized he's good enough to pitch here. And this, the intent that he was throwing with the pitches after that first inning was completely different in my mind. And you know, that was the guy we were waiting to see, and he looked really, really good.
I know it's hard from the side what you're saying, but like the splitters, just seeing that drop that he gets where he gets on, how unique is that?
Well, I mean, to me, the splitter from the side looked like he was throwing glass, now it's curveball. You know, that's the kind of movement from the side that it has. I know it's not the same, but it just the bottom's falling out of it, and you know, those guys are having a tough time seeing it.
Is this by the way?
Yes. There's a good commercial out there about it.
いかがでしたでしょうか。このチャンネルでは日本人メジャーリーガーなどを中心に野球情報をお届けしています。この動画が良かったら高評価、チャンネル登録をよろしくお願いいたします。今回も最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。